Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I just what the hell? Well, in today's story, I'm gonna talk about a girlfriend who experienced some things that made her not want to move in
Shout out to her.
with her boyfriend.
American woman.
Let's go and
Independence
see
is what I need.
Horror story
Oh shit.
he has to tell. They're both 24, by the way. And the boyfriend wants them to move in together, but she doesn't want to anymore. After a trip they went on. Story goes as follows. We've been together for 1 year, but I've only spent 1 or 2 nights together continuously because we have very busy schedules. Or as the Brits say, schedules. My boyfriend wants me to move in with him as soon as possible, and I told him I would in a few months, but we went on a trip and I saw a different side to him that I hate. My boyfriend has this hurtful habit of making offensive jokes, specifically about appearance. I feel bad saying this, but my boyfriend is in no position to make comments about appearances.
Oh.
He's pretty overweight, but I don't care and I've never mentioned it. He started making jokes about my arms being massive and like Popeye when I was getting ready for dinner. I got upset and started to cry. I felt so insecure. I'm very fit and muscular, and I'm always worried about whether or not I'm looking masculine, so it's a hurtful spot for me. When I started to cry, he walked out of the hotel and slammed the door behind him and said, "When you're ready, I'll be downstairs." We had a conversation where he told me he's pissed off that I'm upset and that I can't take a joke, and he's sick of having to watch everything he says around. In the end, he promised me he wouldn't comment negatively on my appearance anymore. 2 hours later, however, we were looking at photos and he says,
Christ.
"Wow, your makeup was actually effed up today."
Come on, man. This guy. Yo, what the heck is wrong with? Where do they find these guys? This is amazing.
I wouldn't know, bro. I wouldn't know.
What the heck? Oh,
I was really bothered by his behavior.
who wouldn't be? 2 hours later, he doesn't stop. Continue.
During our 5-hour flight, he was ordering so much food, leaving mess everywhere. He left his AirPods in his suitcase in the overhead locker and expected me to get out and make a hassle and get them out for him. Note, he wasn't even 100% sure they were there. When I said I don't really feel like waking up the guy next to me to scramble looking for his AirPods, he rolled his eyes and turned his back to me. Here's the real kicker. The flight attendant was giving clear instructions to please buckle seatbelts and turn phones on flight mode, but my boyfriend was blatantly ignoring her and trying to upload selfies on Instagram. I asked him if he could please listen to her, and he completely flipped and said, "Why do you have to piss me off all the damn time? You're not my mother. I'll do whatever I please. Don't tell me what to do." I was so embarrassed that he said that in public. So I snapped back and said, "Well, stop acting like a little child then." To which his reply was, well, this bomb was countered with another bomb. "No." So to which his reply was, "No, you are the child. You don't know anything."
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I just what the hell? I just closed my eyes and tried to nap. I was holding back tears at this point.
Nah, you shouldn't cry for that. The guy is a
After
yo,
10 minutes, he tried to hold my hand and told me, "You know I love you. I'll always love you. My heart belongs to you." Throughout the trip, I just felt like everything was about what he wanted. On one of the days, I told him it's best if we do our own thing, to which he agreed. We were only apart for 8 hours, but he called me a few times asking what I was doing. When we met up again, he told me he missed me and that he was worried about me. He was thinking about me the whole time. For me, it was the complete opposite. Without him, I felt peace. Despite all of this, my boyfriend is always kissing me and cuddling me, telling me he loves me. When I went home after we got back from the trip, he said he's so sad to go home without me and he wishes we lived together. But his behavior on his trip turned me off completely. How do I tell him I don't want to move in? He's going to be hurt. I know. As a side note, my boyfriend and I plan to move in together in a few months, but his behavior on a trip was so horrible, I don't want to move in anymore. How do I tell him? KR.
how does she has to? Okay, I know how she has to tell him. Tell him your putanga dries up when he talks.
Yo. Is that it?
No, all jokes aside, man. Hey, you should even. We always talk at the show at this show about people being dependent on each other, choosing to be in a partnership because either they have no other choice or they are kind of dependent on each other. They become codependent. Kind of a how do they call it? Both people that are scarred, they co the negative dependency, kind of a negative dependency. Anyway, I don't know the word for that right now, but this seems like that in that situation. You have two hurt people trying to navigate the life together. He's hurt and he's trying to make jokes, trying to hurt her, and she's crying the whole time. I mean, the question you got to ask yourself, right? If you can't stand the way he is, I understand you don't want to move in, but the bigger question is, should you continue to date him? I don't think he's gonna change, so I don't want to say you have to break up with him, but that's a bigger, you have bigger things to look at rather than only moving in. But a guy like that only understands humor. So if you tell him your pussy is drying up, they ain't no pussy here. Oh shit, I used the word. God damn it. Yeah, it's drying up.
KR.
They know way to
I
solve.
don't like that kind of talk.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah. Great timing for that one. The putanga is drying up. You as soon as you open your mouth, it's Sahara. Anyway, yeah, I don't think they are compatible, but that's my personal choice.